You've got a hot device like the Nexus 4 by LG, but you don't want to spend a ton of money putting it on AT&T or perhaps T-Mobile's postpaid plans. Well, another option is putting it on a prepaid carrier like Straight Talk. I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com. Prepaid is becoming increasingly popular. I threw a Straight Talk SIM card in this device, and here is how it's performed to date. This is the Google Nexus 4, and on the exterior it looks just like a typical Nexus 4, but on the interior, at least under the skin, so to speak, it's running with a Straight Talk SIM card. I picked this up the other day in the airport. I'd been wanting to do some Straight Talk coverage for a while, and I wanted to do it on a device that's pretty iconic, or at least it's popular in the viewer's eyes, because I want to talk about prepaid service. It's becoming increasingly more and more important in 2013 as people look to migrate away from those contracts, those expensive options, those subsidies that, you know what, even though you're only paying $199 for the phone, you're making it up over 2 years. Straight Talk's a great alternative. The plan is $45 and it gives you unlimited minutes, unlimited text messaging, and then unlimited data as well. The rumors are that they throttle your data after 2 gigabytes. Now, the one downside is you'll see with this, obviously, I'm running on HSPA Plus and I'm running on AT&T's server, or running on AT&T's network rather. This is an MVNO for a couple of different carriers depending on where you're at. Mine happens to use AT&T, but you'll find that even with HSPA Plus, the speeds are relatively decent. Here's what I've been getting in the Dallas area, and I'll show you this even though I've been traveling for a couple of days now. You see 1.13 megabits per second, which is relatively slow. But then you see below that 4.38 megabits per second on the download, 2.23 megabits per second, 6.62, 5.78. So right in line with what you would expect typical AT&T HSPA Plus speeds to be. Now that said, I did not see speeds that fast in the San Francisco area. I saw a couple of quick ones here, 5.72 megabits per second, 4.06, which both were done today. But then you get down into the ones that I did the other day when I was in San Francisco traveling for work, and you can see 1.55, 2.46, 2.99, 2.78, a little bit slower in a market that is not an AT&T stronghold like Dallas is, obviously with the history of AT&T here. Let's run a speed test in real time so you can see what it looks like. And you'll see download here. We'll load it up, and it's been relatively fast. I haven't had any issues. I haven't noticed any slowdowns when I'm posting to Google+. I've been using this phone for Instagram and Google+, and all my usual web activities, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. And you can see here on a regular day in Dallas at 11:30-ish, it's about 3.95 megabits per second, 4.5. You may have even better luck if you're on T-Mobile with their HSPA Plus speeds that can reach theoretical peaks in certain markets of 42 megabits per second. But still relatively reasonable here, 4.47 megabits per second. But again, what I'm hearing is that Straight Talk is throttling in some cases the data plan once you reach a certain threshold. So keep that in mind. 4.47 megabits per second, nothing to scoff at. You've got home here, which you'll notice as well. Down here, instead of saying AT&T or T-Mobile, home is what it shows. And I'll show you the APN settings as well, so you can take a look at those if you're looking in to Straight Talk. But a great option, $45. I found that their online portal is relatively easy to use. It's pretty straightforward. I wish there were more options to do things like change your phone number if you needed to, and had a few more options to just do some more customization. Maybe change your plan around if you're traveling internationally. It could be a little bit easier to use. But again, keeping in mind that this is really an offshoot for Walmart and a combination of a partnership between Walmart and TracFone. I didn't expect too much going in. So again, keeping in mind the price point, it's still pretty reasonable. Let's go to mobile networks here, access point names. Here's what I use, Straight Talk, and you can see the name is Straight Talk, the APN is att.mvno, mobile virtual network operator, proxy and port not set, username and password and server not set. The MMSC is http://mmsc.singular.com. Proxy, you're looking at 66.209.11.33. Here are the port, the MCC, the MNC numbers, and then down here, APN protocols and more. But that gives me HSPA Plus speeds on Straight Talk. Overall, call quality has been relatively decent, had no problems making phone calls. And again, keeping in mind this is just running on AT&T's network, you're getting a really solid option and a decent bang for the buck, although you'll just notice my HSPA Plus kind of dropped out there for a second. I haven't really seen that before, but no real problems with that. Data's been reasonably fast. I'm going to keep testing this, so stay tuned to PhoneDog.com. I may even do a 30-day challenge. If that's something you'd like to see, let me know at PhoneDog_Aaron on Twitter, on Facebook, at Facebook.com/HiAaronBaker on Google+, Gplus.to/PhoneDog. I may run a 30-day challenge with this SIM card installed, but one thing I will say, keeping in mind you're getting mostly AT&T service for $45 a month, and you're really getting unlimited everything, it's a really solid bang for the buck. You buy this for $300, you got your phone, got your plan for $45, you know what, you're in business. And it's a nice option in 2013 where we're all trying to cut back on our bills, right? I thought so. Keep it locked on PhoneDog.com for continuing coverage. Let me know what you want to see about Straight Talk, and I'll be sure to cover it. And I should be back in a couple of days with an update on my Straight Talk service. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.